speak, bear.
Ability to speak does not make you intelligent.
Another cult classic?
Yep.
It's kind of been the theme of my last few videos. They're just really fun to talk about. But why is this one in particular a cult classic? Well, it's actually for a different reason than my previous two videos. You see, Brother Bear features a culture that is very foreign to the average viewer. For me, and for most kids who saw this movie, it was one of our first introductions to this culture, and it's my opinion that this movie represents this way of life brilliantly. Brother Bear is yet another Disney animated movie from the early 2000s. It was released in 2003, and it follows Kenai, an Alaskan native whose brother/father figure, Sitka, is killed by a bear. He's kind of killed by him, more on that later, and Kenai kills the bear as revenge. In doing so, the spirit of his father teaches him a lesson by transforming him into a bear. Kenai the bear finds Coda, a bear cub trying to get to the salmon run, where he can be with other bears. Do not, I repeat, do not play a drinking game where you take a shot every time I say bear in this video. You will die. All joking aside, this plot has a lot of potential for character growth. The central story is based around Sitka teaching him a lesson, not as a punishment, but in a loving way. This is a very emotional story. While Kenai is trying to get to where the lights touch the earth, which is basically where the salmon run is too, his brother Tanahi is trying to hunt him down. Tanahi doesn't understand that it's Kenai in a bear's body, and you really feel for every character in this movie. They're all in positions where their actions are logical, but it's tragic, because if you're keeping score at home, Tanahi has now lost two brothers to the same bear within like a week, or so he thinks. Of course he's gonna vow revenge on this bear. It's a character trifecta that I feel is completely unique to this film, and it's what makes the story super engaging. Speaking of the story, it's one that is completely unique to this culture. Kenai was turned into a bear because of the action of the Great Spirits, which are basically deceased humans and animals, all in one collective spirit which allows for great changes, like the changing of the seasons, or the transformation of a human into a bear. The setting is perfect for this kind of plot. This movie represents the post-Ice Age Alaskan culture beautifully and respectfully. It doesn't get a ton of representation in popular media, so it's nice to see this foreign environment and how it shapes the belief system of this tribe. And you can't talk about this movie in this culture without talking about Brother Bear's music. The score for this film is astounding. A lot of the most recognizable songs from the movie can be described as tribal. It's the logical kind of music that the film should have, and there are two songs from this movie that I want to highlight: Sitka's funeral song and Transformation. The first is a slow, melancholy beat accompanied by a tribal song. It really highlights the sadness of the characters and what they feel in this moment. The other song is Transformation, and it is, by contrast, a more uplifting tune. It starts out slow, but slowly builds into something amazing. And I can't talk about this song without also talking about the animated sequence that goes with it. You guys, just look at the beauty of this sequence. It's colorful, in contrast to the gray mountaintop we were just seeing beforehand. It's one of the most beautiful scenes in any animated movie I've ever seen. This scene is where Kenai transforms into a bear, and I know I'm repeating myself here, but it's just so gorgeous. This is how you show spirit magic in your animated movie. Colorful, expressive, but also kind of abstract. Nothing comes close. And the animation for the rest of the film is great too. This movie has beautiful landscape shots that really capture the feel of this culture living in this time period. I mean, the art in this movie is worth the price of admission alone. Everything about this movie works. The characters, the beautiful score, the animation, everything is great. And there is a bit of comic relief, which turns some people off from these kind of Disney movies, but it never really interrupts the flow of the story. I mean, if you think about it, all the comedy in this movie is done in separate segments of the film, as to never interrupt a dramatic moment, like Sitka's death or the twist towards the end, which I'm not gonna spoil, by the way. It's a great film that sticks with you. The brothers' dynamic isn't done a whole lot in animation, so it's great to see such organic character interactions here. If you haven't seen this movie, and if you have a brother, then you should see this movie. Okay, that's all the time I have to gush about this movie. There weren't a lot of downsides to this movie, pretty much none. I just really appreciate the unique story in this age of confusing plots. I'm looking at you, Incredibles 2, Frozen 2, and Wreck-It Ralph 2. Disney just isn't good at making sequels in general. But I digress. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you like today's avatar outfit, you can find it on Redbubble and Instagram. Links are in the description. Thanks for watching.